UFP, the United Federation of Podcasts.
Infinite diversity.
Live long and prosper, and welcome to Infinite Diversity, a Star Trek Universe podcast here on the United Federation of Podcast Network. I'm your host for today, Chrissy, and joining me is my co-host, Thad. Brandon's up in the control room making sure we can access the interwebs to get this podcast out to you. So, Thad, how are you today?
I think I might need to, not sure what's happening, but I think I might need to distract us all with a song. But other than that, I'm fine.
Oh, that was good. That was really fun. I just love that Star Trek now has enough money to get things that are actually requiring a payment for copyright, and
Yes.
It's not just all classical music. So,
Well, it is to them.
well, we've got a lot to talk about today, but before we do that, we're going to take a moment to thank our Patreon patrons that make this show possible. And particularly, that means our associate producers, Justin Oser and David Willett. Listeners, we would love to add your name to this list, and we can do that with your monthly subscription of just $10 at patreon.com/UFPearth. We're recording on a Thursday because we didn't get to record on our usual weekend time because we were at Mission Chicago, which we will talk about in a minute. But the other piece of big news that came out last week was that we are going to get the full TNG cast in Season 3 of Picard, which just made everybody's heads explode in a fantastic way.
Well, full TNG cast depends on which season of TNG we're talking about, but yes.
That's a good point, because it does not include Will Wheaton, and it does not include Dinah Muldaur.
Or
I don't
Denise
know
Crosby.
if Dinah Muldaur, or Denise, yeah, excuse me. Wow, look at that. That was really bad of me. Okay.
I mean, Diana Muldaur was basically main cast, even though she wasn't. She was special guest star, but she was in almost every episode of Season 2.
Yeah. And I guess that goes to show you which characters people like and don't like, because I've been seeing over the internet, why isn't Wesley there? Why isn't Dr. Pulaski there? But I have not seen anybody ask for Tasha.
Well, Tasha's dead.
Right. I mean, that's true. So there you go.
But we could get Sela, but no one wants Sela.
Yeah, that's true, too.
I
Anyway.
doubt. I mean, we could. We've focused on Romulans. We could get Sela. I was expecting Sela in Season 1, honestly.
You know, that's a good point. I remember expecting that her to show up at some point, too. Yeah. That is an interesting... Yeah, okay.
But Will Wheaton did address that right off at
He did.
the convention. He said he is not in the show.
Mhm,
Now,
mhm.
that is what someone who is in the show, whose appearance has not been announced, would be contractually required to say. But in this case, I suspect he is correct that he is not in the show, because why would you keep that a secret and not that the rest of the cast are going to be there?
Right. He gave a good explanation for it, though, in that, you know, what is he going to do as the traveler to show up in whatever plot is going on? You know, he's just going to, like, snap his fingers and fix it. Maybe not snap his fingers, excuse me.
Honestly, it would make more sense for him to be in this season.
It would. It would. Because he could have been a means to go back and forth. Well, that's for a different story.
That
Okay.
would be a very well-kept secret if they pulled that off.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think we're going to win that, so.
No.
But yeah, so I'm very excited for that. I have heard some people speculating about what might be going on, and the one that seems to be making the rounds is that we're going to see the bug people from Conspiracy, which I have
okay. Not seen that. Okay,
yeah.
That is certainly a theory.
Yeah, I have seen it sourced back to one person. See, and as an historian, right? But I shouldn't go by that. But when we're talking about speculation, it's okay. Yeah, one person made a comment about how the way Riker and Picard are standing next to each other in the trailer is almost exactly the way they were set up when they were firing their phasers at the guy whose head exploded.
That's a stretch. I mean,
It is
true, but that's definitely a stretch. As in, like, I don't think that was like some special head exploding stance.
Pose,
that's
yeah.
just how they happen to be standing.
And I think there's a line of dialogue, too. So I'm not saying that it was well speculated. I'm just saying this is what I've been seeing, because I think people took that and just ran with it, because I have seen all sorts of people talk, well, and then they can deal with this and they can deal with this. And I'm like, that is a loose end. I would love to see that one.
There's a lot
addressed.
of other loose ends, but yes, that is one of the most famous loose ends of Star Trek, that they just completely, they never came back to that plot. Now, I think they did in the novels, but that doesn't count.
They did indeed. And didn't it turn out that they were distantly related to the Trill symbionts?
I believe so.
Ringing a bell. But yeah.
This is where the fact that I'm not Justin is
is never something that anyone should consider to be an issue, because you are you and Justin is Justin.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm just saying Justin would have known the answer to this question. But
oh yes, and I'm sure he's saying it at his podcast player right now. But oh yeah, so yeah. Right, what's the plot going to be? Who knows? Am I excited to see them? Of course I am. I'm also hoping we get to see Kestra. I mean, it makes sense to do so. So
I would imagine we would.
We'll see. Yeah. At least in passing.
Is Brent Spiner going to be Alton Inigo Sung, or is he going to be yet another character?
I'm going to predict...
What if he's lore?
Oh. Well, but lore's... I was about to say lore's in pieces, but they all are. It doesn't make a difference.
No, and we saw his pieces in season 1, so we know they still have them.
I thought that was B4's pieces.
Well, don't they also have Lore's pieces?
They might have. I haven't rewatched season 1 in a while, so...
That's fair, yeah. Okay, we saw a Sung-type android pieces in season 1.
There you go. And again, if they're taking their cues from the books, we could see a Sung in the form of an android, and certainly we know the Sungs can make these androids and put their brains in them.
Thought of that.
Yeah.
If we get the straight up Noonien Sung as an android, a la the books.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a thought.
Yeah. And that would allow for him to be an android and still not have to be computer de-aged.
Yes.
Which makes it easier. Yeah.
And not have to wear gold paint. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, which I'm sure at this point in his life he does not want to do. So
yeah,
and I don't blame him.
I appreciate what they did with the character in season 1, but I very much do not want to see computer de-aged data again unless they have dramatically improved the technology. Yeah,
they didn't do as good of a job with that as other franchises.
They don't have that Disney money.
Yeah. Although they did a decent job with John Delancey, but it was only...
For the 3 seconds that we saw him. Yeah,
so it wasn't a big deal. So they released this on First Contact Day, which was a couple days before the convention, and we were all asking ourselves, why didn't they save this for the convention? And I suspect it got leaked.
I think, because I think there news articles came out immediately, and I'm guessing that there would have been one of them. The articles would have come out. But that said, the fact that it was on First Contact Day itself,
that's true.
Like they may have planned it. I think the big reason they didn't do it at the convention is that none of those actors were at the convention.
Oh, of course. That makes sense.
Because most of them were all already signed on for Fan Expo Philadelphia the same weekend.
I didn't realize there was another convention going on. Okay.
Yes. Frakes, Spiner, McFadden, and Delancey, I think, were all in Philly the same weekend.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's weird. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we got that piece of news, and that was awesome, but then everything got blown out of the water by Mission Chicago.
Yes.
And maybe that was especially extra blown out of the water for me because this is the first convention I've been to since I was 10. So I was awestruck. Dad, how was your convention time? We did run into each other a couple times, and
We did.
you seemed to be happy.
Oh, yeah. Well, you also seem to be enjoying yourself.
Oh, yes. What's not to love?
Yes, I will say, obviously one of the things was my very first time meeting Chrissie. That was pretty cool.
Yes, that was awesome. Got to meet you, got to see Amy and Joe and Kevin and Rhea and...
Yeah, a whole bunch of people from the
anybody
network were
else?
there.
Yeah, and some listeners too. So that was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Now this was my first convention in like a month. But I had a lot of fun. It was great. I saw a lot of friends that I hadn't seen since 2019, so that was a lot of fun. I think overall, I was very worried until a few weeks ago, but ReedPop managed to pull through and put on a pretty decent Star Trek convention.
Yeah, I agree. Like I say, I don't have the comparative to like STLV.
Sure.
I heard people talking like there was some different elements, but the vaccination card check went very smoothly, and then everybody got little wristband thingies that were that they just had to glance at, so that was useful.
I wasn't a fan of those actual wristbands because like the way, and this is going to invite the inevitable comparisons, the way Creation did it at STLB last year was they just did the the sort of like waxy paper wristbands that you get.
Yeah,
temporary
for like concert.
Yeah, that's what Creation did with them. And I will say, for something that's staying on your wrist for a whole weekend, that works better. Because the fabric thing that ReedPop does, well, for one thing, it was the thing that you can't take off, but you can make it tighter.
Like that.
So if you accidentally make it too tight, you're screwed. And the other thing is because it was made out of like actual fabric. After you take a shower, that thing was damp for like an hour, and that was very annoying.
Well, I ended up having to cut mine off because I pulled it too far, because I was fidgeting. And then I tied it onto my my lanyard, and that was fine. So
well, that works too, I guess.
I saw a lot of people doing that, and so now that I know that that's going to be okay, that's what I will be doing in the future. But once I saw that Mike McMahon had his tied to his lanyard, I was like, okay,
that's
so they're
probably
letting people do that. That's fine. Yeah. But that worked out. Like I was concerned about that. The venue was good. It was huge. I actually thought they could have maybe put the with the vendor floor in maybe a smaller space because it made it look like there wasn't enough there.
Well, that's because there wasn't.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
Again, I'm compared to Chicago.
No, it's okay.
Or no, compared to Las Vegas.
Creation's fine, yeah.
There were not a lot of vendors there. There were some, certainly. And I bought some things, and it was great. But when I go to a convention, I expect, especially a convention of this size, I expect more vendors. I expect more products. I expect, to spend hours shopping. Because that's like part of the fun of going to a con. And there were maybe like 6 or 7 tables of vendors, like of actual vendors, because there were also like podcasts and other things.
Oh,
like, people that were actually selling products. There weren't that many of them.
Yeah, there was. Let me see. There was the people with the nice jackets. We'll come back to that.
I managed to avoid buying one, but it was hard.
Yeah, I didn't. But, first conventions and all that.
There were the people with the coffee tables, which I did not manage to avoid buying. You got.
Those were cool looking. I liked those.
And they're in Vegas every year. I think they're actually based out of Vegas. And I'm always tempted, but the fact that I drove to Chicago meant that it was like so much easier to buy one and take it home and not have to pay shipping.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that makes a world of difference. Yeah, for a table.
Yeah, I can only imagine how terrible the shipping costs would have been on something like that. It's heavy.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Okay. So there was that. There was the Tribble stand. There was
what has become one of my favorite licensed Star Trek vendors, Star Trek Unlimited, who make they make the dishes and all the other things. They had new dishes that I'm gonna buy. And
yes. Yeah. I forgot to pick up a Tom Paris plate. I was going to do that, and then I got distracted because Jay was like, "Oh, you got to get one of these coats. These coats are so cool. You've always wanted a Monster Maroon. You got to get a coat." And I got so distracted with that I totally forgot to.
They are really nice coats.
Oh, it's all like kind of spring, windy, chilly today, and we went out and I wore it, and there was no wind coming through. It was fantastic. Yeah.
I might end up ordering one at some point, but I managed to avoid it this time.
Yeah. The guy I was talking to there, they, I should get the name of the company so we can actually give them credit. But they go so far as to, like, if you need it, they intentionally make the sleeves a little too long so that you can hem them up if you need to. And if you do that, you can email them and ask for a bobbin of the thread so that it matches perfectly.
Nice.
And that's just, like, that's a step beyond just really nice and well done stuff. That's one step beyond that. And yeah, so let's see. There was the Star Trek wines.
Yes.
There was, I was super excited to see.
Did you buy any Star Trek wine?
I did not. I'm not much of a wine drinker.
I'm not much of a wine drinker either, but I have bought a bunch of them because they look cool. Most of them I have on display. I did drink the Canar because it also comes with a stopper like they have on the show that you can use afterwards.
Nice. Yeah.
So I actually ended up repurposing it as a whiskey decanter. But
perfect.
But the wine, and I'm not a wine person, so take this with a grain of salt. But I drank the Canar, and I thought it was really good.
Okay. Yeah, and I had been meaning to, but then the Coke got in the way. So, but I was super excited to see Intergalactic Trading Company there.
Yes,
because that was such a blast from the past that I didn't even know they were still in business. I have a TNG comm badge from them from probably 1990, 91, somewhere in it. No, it was 90 because I had it before the 25th anniversary. And I mean, like, it is well loved. I wore it every day through grade school and middle school, or the end of grade school and middle school. In fact, it's right here. There we go. Well loved. And they had some of them there on the table that were the same as the one that I had in my hand, including the Hollywood pins and the phone number that's no longer good on the back. So it was one of those things where it's like, oh, I used to look at this stuff in a black and white newsprint catalog, and it's right there in front of me, and that's just so awesome. And I talked to the guy, and it was funny because he didn't think that I was old enough to have been somebody who got the paper newsprint catalog, which was complimentary, so I'll take that. But Intergalactic Trading Company is good stuff. I would, now that I know they still exist, I highly recommend purchasing your stuff through them because they're good about it.
Now that was the one. They were the people that had the Picard wine cork USB drives, right?
I don't think so.
Oh, was that a different? Okay.
No, Intergalactic Trading Company was actually. I think they were across from the wine. They were the tables were completely covered in pins, for the most part. It was on the side where the coats were too.
Well, you're not thinking of fan sets.
No. That was a row over.
Okay, then I'm not picturing this booth at all, actually.
Oh, you know what? It wasn't across from the wines. It was behind the wines, and it was across from the guy that was selling the model kits.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
yeah.
They had the USB corks as well, I think.
Oh, okay. See, I just didn't see that. I saw that on other tables. Okay.
I think. Anyway. I could be wrong. But anyway, yes.
The USB cork is cool, too.
in Vegas, there are usually several more booths that sell a conglomeration of Star Trek stuff from the past 50 years.
Yeah.
Whereas here, there were a handful of them, and that's
Yeah.
fine. But there's usually, I was disappointed that there weren't more vendors.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know what to expect, so I was like, this
And
is
I'm
cool.
not saying there were.
But,
it was
you know.
bad. Like I've been at
I get
cons
it.
that have even fewer vendors. I was just hoping for more.
Yeah, and I think part of that too is the turnover from creation to Reed Pop, and you know, people don't necessarily have the connections that they did to get things set up. So
Yeah, and since it
always
is
a
the
possibility.
official Star Trek con, they won't get any vendors that are selling unlicensed things, which also puts a little bit of a dent in it.
Yeah, yeah. So that was it was a huge setup. I think there were other floors of that building that weren't being used. Like the second floor had almost nothing on it. It had nothing for the convention on it.
It's a huge convention center. Yeah, no.
So they could have split it up more.
Yeah, we were using maybe a quarter of the space in that convention center. It's ridiculous.
I was a little annoyed because they had some food vendors there, and they were fine. It's good. It was good. You know, I had my churros and all of that kind of stuff. But I was
thoroughly
surprised.
mediocre chicken fingers multiple times that were filling and did the job.
Yeah, I would say that about the hot dog stand.
They were at the upstairs vending area.
I missed that completely.
No, straight off the vendor's floor. In the, I guess when you go into the vendor area on the left wall.
Yeah.
After there were stairs that went up to a little food court where they sold, they sold chicken fingers and burgers and stuff like that.
That would have been
It was your standard like convention center food court, really. You missed that you never saw the stairs in the vendors area?
I saw the stairs. I didn't see anything at the top of them, so I didn't go exploring.
Ah, okay. Well, anyway.
Yeah, I'm like, there's stairs. Okay.
All it was food and a little dining area.
Okay. Well, there was the stuff on the right side that had all the
the grilled
stuff,
cheese place and stuff like that. I had a bad experience there. I got the turkey club grilled cheese, and the bacon was raw.
Oh, lovely. Yeah. Ugh, no. Okay. But yeah, so that's good to know. I was about to say that they had a food court downstairs that wasn't open.
Was not open. Yep.
But
actual
now I know
restaurants
why.
with like tables and
yeah. That seemed like a really
place where people could have congregated after the convention.
Yeah. Yeah, so that to me feels like, okay, so maybe they don't normally have those open on the weekends anyway.
Yeah.
But when you have 3,000, however many people were descending upon that place, not having that open is just losing money.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, that's insane. So that I was disappointed with that.
That's honestly my biggest disappointment of the convention. And I realize I sound like I'm complaining a lot. I had a great time this past weekend. But it's kind of like how when I talk about Star Trek, I always talk about what annoys me, even though I still love it.
This is who we are.
Yes. There was very little to do convention related once the convention closed for the day.
Yeah.
So at like 7 p.m., I guess we're done.
That's it. Yeah.
Everybody goes back to their respective hotels, and that's it.
Go find somewhere for dinner. Yep.
Yep. There were some people, like, I know some people tried to make hanging out at the Arc bar at the Hait a thing.
Okay. Didn't know about that.
Yeah, and I went there on Friday night, but the problem was it was a relatively small bar, and it got filled with people, and it was only open until like 11 p.m., which is
odd
for a hotel bar at a convention.
In a city, yeah.
Yes. And it wasn't even open at all on Sunday. So
Yeah, that is strange.
And again, comparing apples and oranges, I know. But in Vegas, and it's going to be a little different this year because it's not at the Rio, but it'll still be at a casino with bars and whatnot. At the Rio, even if you're not staying at the Rio, if you're staying in another hotel in Vegas, everybody hangs out in the bars at the Rio after the convention because it's right there. And it's Vegas, so the city never sleeps. It doesn't close. So, like, people will... I mean, I don't, but there are people who stay at the bar all night long. And it's just an entirely different experience. Also, they do events in the evening. Like, they'll do, because one of the things the Rio has are some nice outdoor swimming pools, and they'll do movies at the pool. So they'll like show like a Star Trek movie, and people can watch it from the pool. And they'll do karaoke parties at night, and there's concerts, and there's all sorts of events that help keep everything going, and that you're still part of the convention even after the convention itself has wound down for the day. And in Chicago, we didn't have any of that.
The first thing that really surprised me as regards that type of thing was that they were showing the motion picture at 4 p.m. When they were saying that they're going to show it at the convention, I was expecting like, okay, so that's going to be like a 7 or 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be set up for after dinner. They'll have popcorn, or I don't know if they they probably didn't. But it didn't make sense to me. I mean, I'm all for an afternoon movie, but not somewhere like that. Not with that kind of a setup.
Yeah, no, I agree. I saw that was on the schedule. I'm like, well, okay, but that's a movie I could literally watch anytime I want at home, and you're putting it up against other things at the convention. So, yeah probably not going to do that.
Yeah, because I was planning on going, because that's the one of the movies that I have not seen in a theater, but it wasn't.
Well, you can go see it in the theater next month.
Oh, yes, and I will, because it actually is coming to my little suburban-ass town in Michigan, so yay!
Nice! I am unfortunately going to be on vacation in the Outer Banks, nowhere near a movie theater that week, but, I mean, that's the only unfortunate thing about being on vacation that week.
So I think some things were not well planned. The fact that there was stuff that you knew about that I didn't, and I'm sure there was stuff that other people knew about.
I mean, it wasn't official. It was
didn't.
Just like the Trek geeks said that's where they were going to try to set up the after hours meeting.
Oh no, I meant that there was like a food court upstairs.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
The idea that there was not that didn't say that in the little map or in the schedule. You can get food here and here and here.
I only knew about it because I went up there and saw the food.
Yeah, so that's not well done. One of the other things that was a little bit weird to me is that there were concerts at the venue across the street, both Friday and Saturday night. And so there was a lot of, and it's like, that's not anything that Reed Pop did anything about. I'm not going to tell, that's not a quote unquote problem, but it did create for interesting circumstances trying to get into restaurants around the area Friday and Saturday night.
Trying to get back to my freaking hotel from the convention center on Friday a nightmare.
I bet.
Because there was it was a soul concert. I remember I looked up who it was at the time, but I've forgotten now.
That's all right.
But it was soul music. I know that. On Friday, and I think it was a similar concert on Saturday, but I don't know for sure. But the 3 convention hotels, the Marriott, the Hilton / Hampton Inn, and the Hyatt, were all connected to the convention center by sky bridges.
Yeah.
The Marriott shares the sky bridge with the arena, which is where the concerts were happening.
Yeah.
So on Friday night, when the convention ended, walking back to get to my hotel, we run into a mass of people completely filling the sky bridge and not moving.
Oh, gods.
Because that's where the people that were lining up to enter the venue.
Oh, Yeah, that's obnoxious.
We had to walk all the way back to the convention center and downstairs to leave, to walk outside. Of course, Friday was the worst weather of the days to walk outside. Yeah. But yeah, the only thing was, like, I'd already walked all the way to the Sky Bridge, which was not near the part of the convention center where the con was.
Oh, no.
But then there's no exit from the building there.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to walk all the way back to the part where the con was. In fact, there's a stairwell. We get in the stairwell to go down. The door at the bottom is locked. So we had to go back up and then go back over all the way back to the convention area. There was a stairwell right next to the Sky Bridge, but you can only exit through that way in an emergency, apparently.
All right. Well, we've seemingly been complaining about this, and I don't want to end on that note. Okay.
Right. No, let's talk about the good things.
Yeah, okay. So I've said on the show many times, there's the thing of when you're reviewing a book, don't ask the writer to write what you would have written. You have to review what they did. And I thought it was good. Overall, great. Good isn't enough. I tweeted that I came out of this feeling like refreshed in my feelings about the future of humanity. Okay, which may seem a little hyperbolic, but I think you get a bunch of people together who believe in the potential for a better society and a better future, and they're already inclined to act that way, then you're not going to have as many people who are being, jerks. They're still there. There's always going to be. But it felt like this, I don't know, can you have a family reunion with 3,000 people? But...
It's how I feel every time I'm in a Star Trek convention. It's
okay.
There is no feeling like it. It is the best feeling in the world, and it's why I keep going back to conventions over and over again, because it's just incredible.
Yeah. I mean, it was just and the panels were really cool. The Lower Decks one was my favorite.
Lower Decks was so good.
They followed through and they showed up in costume.
Yes.
Jack Quaid had that ridiculous purple wig on, which I just loved. And then for the Strange New Worlds panel, which was later that day, where I was sitting, I happened to be 2 rows behind where Jerry O'Connell was sitting, and it was really sweet because he kept talking to Mike McMahon about whatever, but it was fun, and he was still. I think they stayed in uniform all day.
Mm-hmm. They did, because people who had the Lower Decks photos with them, had the photo ops with them,
of course,
photos with them
right.
in uniform. Unfortunately, I was in my Deep Space Nine cosplay that day.
Of course.
Had a photo scheduled with the Lower Decks cast on Sunday, so I got them without uniform, but that's okay. They were still awesome.
Yeah, that's perfectly all right. It's still cool. So I was so geeked out that they actually did that. They came out on stage, and I was like, "Oh my god, they did it! They really did it! They followed through on it."
So
it was so cool.
Their very first convention, because Lower Decks premiered during COVID, and STLV wasn't an official con last year, so they weren't, they weren't emphasizing the currently running shows for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
So this was their first convention, and I think you could tell how touched they were that they had such an overwhelming reception from us, the fans.
Yeah.
And because you could tell that they were just overwhelmed and so happy to be there and so happy to be celebrating the show with us, and that we love the show. And just, we were all feeding off each other, and the energy in the room for that panel was incredible.
It was just like, and the Lower Decks chant, because of course, and then the other lower, and then it was again, and it was just so good. And that one actually, where they were talking about stuff, there were points that one almost brought me to tears, and it was just, I think because it was just so good. Yeah, it just felt so good. It wasn't sad. It was just like an, oh my god, I can't believe this is actually happening, kind of thing. So that was awesome. The Strange New Worlds panel was great.
Yeah, we got to see a great clip from the show. We
Won't
got
say
to see
anything
the
else,
first. We can say this much: we got to see the first bridge shot that is going to be in the show.
Oh yes, that's true. They did say that. Yep.
Yeah.
So that's cool, and
We
it's
can
in
say
a few
what we
weeks.
saw. We just can't show what we saw. But yes, y'all will see it in a few weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me describe it in minute detail.
They didn't make us sign NDAs. They just said we couldn't film it.
Right. Well, then I will say this about the Lower Decks clip that we saw. They were playing an equivalent of D&D for Klingons. And
oh my God,
it was
yes.
also a
So
callback to the TNG VHS game.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. We'll leave it there, but it was just, beautiful. Beautiful.
Yes. Also, they promised us that we will get a musical episode of Lower Decks.
Yes.
That the Paris Janeway lizard babies will show up at some point.
That's right, yes.
And that Peanut Hamper is returning.
Yes. Peanut Hamper's on the poster. So that one, there's no question. I did not realize when they showed that from my vantage point, all I could see was the Delta Shield. I couldn't see that Peanut Hamper was in the middle of it. So I thought it was Badgie broken into a lot of pieces. And I thought it was Badgie coming back.
I was farther back too and also had the same thought.
When they said Peanut Hamper, I was actually kind of disappointed.
So
but not. But
this is a thing that I didn't really put it together that they're continuing this trend, but they are. That's the season 3 poster, which is deliberately reminiscent and an homage to the Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock poster. Yep. Which makes sense because season 2 was a Wrath of Khan-esque poster and season 1 was a motion picture-esque poster. So, boy, I'm looking forward to that, to the one with the whales next year.
Oh, well, I mean, we could get the dolphins in there.
Yeah, exactly.
I forgot their names, but yeah, that would work perfectly. Yeah, I remember that I had made the connection with the first season and motion picture. I didn't make the connection with the second season at all with that poster until I saw people talking about this one, and I was like, oh, I'm dumb. No, I'm not dumb. I'm not going to say that, but I just didn't catch it. But yeah, so those panels were great. Anson Mount, I really appreciated that he made a point of thanking the ASL interpreter and make a point of pointing out that that's an important job, and the person got a round of applause. That was needed because the DJ, whatever his name was, that was doing the emceeing for the whole thing was being a complete jerk and making the most obvious and insulting jokes about an ASL interpreter that you can make, which is to stand there and say, oh, you have to say anything I say. You have to sign anything I say. Well, what if I say penis? Ha. And I just wanted to be here's a piece of sign language that's universal. But yeah.
And was he also the one that made the off-color joke about George Takei, I believe.
Oh.
I didn't see this. I just heard about it. But apparently at one of the games they were doing between panels, which I only ever saw that one DJ doing those games, so I'm assuming it was this guy.
Yeah, he was the one who all did those.
If it wasn't, I am very sorry to this guy. But I heard from multiple. I saw people were talking about the panels on Twitter today, and I saw apparently at one of the games, one of the contestants had to come up with had to name a bunch of fruits, and they were stumped on it. And the guy said, "Well, what about George Takei?"
No.
Yeah. Yes.
See, I didn't see that, but I didn't see all the games. I saw the one with the little kid who was dancing, and that was really cute and whatever. But
yes,
yeah, that's. See what I just said about being in a room full of people who believe in a positive future and not being like jerks, and then there's still jerks.
I wasn't there. I just heard about this secondhand, but apparently they did get booed for that, which is rightly so.
Good.
Speaking of inappropriate things to say on the stage, should we talk about that panel moderator?
We're back to complaining again. The lady boner panel manu.
Yeah.
Okay, let me say this. I was not bothered by that. Okay, it was a little. She didn't need to say it more than once.
She certainly didn't need to say it more than once.
But I
also,
you know,
flip it around. If a male moderator said, "Oh man, this scene gives me such a boner," that would not have been appropriate.
I've heard that enough times in various contexts that I don't care.
No, same.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, there is a difference, though, between conversations that adults
I mean
have.
in public type events. I have, yeah.
I mean, the lady boner thing was annoying, especially because she frequently brought it up. But what was really annoying was, like, and what made me uncomfortable was when she was basically like lusting after Anson Mount on stage, and he was visibly uncomfortable.
Yes, that was bad. Yeah. She did a decent job with George Takei, but I think that's because she shut her mouth and just let him talk. She did say she's that was the first time I heard Lady Boner was about young George Takei. But yeah, I didn't connect that because he did look terribly uncomfortable the whole time, and it didn't even occur to me that would have been why.
Well, it's because when the first thing she said to him was like, "I don't know you." She's like, "I don't even know what to say. Just look at you," and like, yeah, and it's just like, we get it. He's handsome. You don't have to like
embarrass him.
Yeah. But regardless, okay. We did have fun. We enjoyed the panel.
What would we be as Trekkies if we were not saying, "Oh my God, this was the best thing ever. Now here's everything wrong with it."
Yeah.
So yeah. So overall, I'm going to say great experience. Very happy with it. Bought the T-shirt. Bought the teddy bear. Yeah.
I also bought the teddy bear. I
had to buy the teddy bear.
And I ordered the Murph T-shirt that they weren't selling adult sizes at the con because they apparently didn't think adults would want a Murph T-shirt, which...
Yeah. Yeah, okay. That's kind of ridiculous. Another amazing, great moment for with the panels was the Prodigy panel, where several kids got to ask questions, and that was great to see the next generation of Star Trek fans, as it were. That was fantastic. I mean, it was a Star Trek con. I loved every minute of it. I am really happy I was there. I'm hoping to be able to go to the next one in Seattle next year, and it was great. There is nothing like a Star Trek convention. It is the best time you can ever have. Yeah. Right. So we should probably talk about the episode of Picard that dropped.
The episode of Picard
on Thursday.
A week ago? Yes.
Yeah, a week ago. Well, of course, because we intended to get like everybody together from the network and talk about it, and that just wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
So that's okay. I watched it. We watched it after dinner on Thursday when we got to the hotel. We hooked the computer up into the TV and watched it, and that was nice because I haven't had a chance to watch a lot of new Trek with my sister and enjoy it together like that. And I know the Galaxy class crew had to wait until everybody was in town to watch, which I think was pretty late on Thursday getting into Friday, because I know they didn't wait.
They didn't wait until Friday for Amy, though.
They did not wait until Friday for Amy, but I get it. I get it.
I think I told them that. I'm like, don't do that. Like, yeah.
No, especially for, like, it was a short episode, relatively so. So, like, watching it again is not eating up a lot of time, but...
Yeah, I said don't wait for Amy, and you can tell her I said that, is what I think I told them, and they probably did.
I'm sure. But yeah, so it was pretty good. We pick up right where we left off. We have to get into the party. We're waiting for Jurati, who is, like, chained to a bench in a control room. The security for this thing is, like, way overblown, but also completely incompetent.
Yeah, like, they don't listen to her at all when she's talking to... No. I talked about this last time. They aren't paying attention at all to anything she says, which... Yeah, wow.
Yeah. But then the Borg Queen is given a little more control and does her thing to break her out. That's kind of confusing to me because, like, somebody's strength really is dictated by their actual, like, muscles and body structure.
How does the Borg Queen make her able to break out of the handcuffs? I was wondering that myself.
Because it's like, I suppose if you know how to hit it in the right place, but you still have to have the body strength. And I love Jurati as a character, but I think she's like me. She's not one that's spending a lot of time at the gym. You know.
Oh, but before actually we get to that, doesn't the scene open with Picard on the ground? Doesn't the episode open?
Oh, yes, that was the opening. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I was going in order, sorry.
You're going in chronological order, yeah.
I was going in chronological order, yeah. Yes, so but it does open with Picard on the ground, yeah.
Yes, and then we cut back to earlier, which is a standard television trope. Oh yeah. I'm not sure if we've seen this on Star Trek recently. I think it might have been, if we have, it might have been a while ago. But this is a pretty standard trope that I'm fine with that. But what I want to point out, though, is that we get the scene that says 34 minutes earlier. And did you notice the font on that scene? It's the same. It is the Star Trek Enterprise font. It
looked familiar. It felt Trekky. I didn't remember.
It may not.
I didn't make the connection.
It's possible it's slightly different, but it looks to me like the font they use on Enterprise for like the episode titles and things.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah. There we go. Love it. Because it did look. I was like, that's a Trek font, but I didn't think beyond that. So. Yeah, so Picard's on the ground, and then we flash back to how he gets on the ground, I guess.
Yes.
So they do manage to get into the party, and it is very TV movie tropey in that it's the very last minute that she gets the USB
Rios
stick put in.
Scans his ID, and the first time she comes up with the wrong guy, and then they fix it. Interestingly, the guy that it was originally supposed to come up with before they fix it so it looks like him. They have his name as Carl Leonard Kelly, which is
nice.
An amalgamation of the two actors who played Leonard McCoy and Leonard McCoy's name, which I thought was a nice little Easter egg there.
Yeah, they do a nice job with that. You know, you think about on TNG, they had all those little Easter eggs and like the door labels and everything, and they're just doing the same thing, but now they know people will see it. That's just cool. So they get into the party. They are watching Renee, trying to make sure that she doesn't leave. And then we find out that Talon has this program that she can access the phones of people she's paying attention to, I guess, watchering. And then I love that comment from Picard. She's checking her mobile device a lot, and she's like, "We all do that.
We all do that." No, we all do that. Yeah, because we do.
Yes.
I also, it's interesting. Rios talks about how much he loves the 21st century because he's got the real cigars. It's like, well, number one, there is no way they would let him light a cigar in that party.
He didn't though.
Yeah, I know, because there is no way you could. Not inside at a party in 2024, unless things have changed a lot in the last 2 years.
Agreed.
Especially not in California. Like, if this was Texas, maybe. It's interesting. Rios is talking about how much he loves the 21st century when, like, last week he was locked up. It's a bit of a 180 there.
Yeah, he doesn't love the 21st century as much as he loves the Doctor, I think.
Yeah, I think, Rios is on cloud nine right now because he's, he met his lovely doctor that he, That was where I was eventually going with that is I think Rios is a little smitten here.
Yeah, when we first met her, I thought we were going to have a Gillian Taylor situation where she comes back with them. But then I forgot about the fact that she's got that young son. So, and she's that other family too that we've met, at least I would assume her sister, who she referred to as the kid's aunt. So this episode actually made me start to wonder if Rios is going to stay.
Yeah.
So.
Oh no, I think he's gonna stay behind in the 21st century. Which because they're gonna. We don't know for sure how much the TNG cast is going to do in the next season, but I think several of them are going to be around for a long time, for several episodes.
Yeah.
And I think they are not going to need or want quite as large of a cast coming from the existing thing.
Yeah.
So I think Rios is going to stay behind. I think Girardi's probably going to die.
Yeah. There were people that were saying she's the Borg Queen at the beginning, which I think is quite possible.
It is quite possible.
Yeah.
I
think that's the case. And then Raffi and Seven are off at the Academy, and Picard goes and joins the crew.
I think Raffi and Seven will be in the next season.
I think they will, but I don't think as much.
Right. But I think Rios and Girardi will not. And, it remains to be seen what happens with Elnor.
Well, though, it's an easy fix with him if they don't want to use him in the third season much because he's at the Academy. That's
right, exactly.
Or he's, are we going to end up on the Enterprise E with Captain Worf? And if that's the case, then Elnor can be taking his year on a ship. Yeah, I think that's what it's going to end up being.
We get the Enterprise E. I really hope we get Captain Worf. I definitely think Elnor is coming back. I
think he is too, yeah.
I had a conversation with Evan Evangora at his table at the con, and he was way too adamant that Elnor is dead for methinks the Romulan doth protest too much.
Love it.
I really also he is a really sweet guy. I mean, they're all excellent, but I had a nice conversation with him.
That's cool. Yeah, we didn't even talk about the people doing the signings. I don't think Doug Jones's line ever stopped. It was just like every time we went past there. And it was because every time we walked past there, I swear he was getting up from the table and giving the person a hug.
He gave every single person a hug.
It was so sweet. Yeah. Anyway,
back
to the episode.
I got a selfie with him, and then I said thank you and hugged him, and he said, "Oh, of course, Precious," and just like my heart melted. I'm like, Doug Jones just hugged me and called me Precious. I mean, anyway.
Yeah.
But yes, we could gush about the convention forever, and maybe we will. We probably will some more, but at the moment, let's talk about this episode.
Yes. Okay. We're in the party, and they're watching her to make sure that that she's going to stay, and then they intercept her communication with Counselor Q, I guess we could say. And so then they see they're going to have to intervene. And so our Picard decides he's going to talk with her and runs smack dab into Adamson.
Yep.
And who has become a bit villainous, I think, is a good word.
Yeah. Well,
maybe we know where Lore got his... Yeah.
I mean, his motivate, yes, definitely villainous, but at the same time, you understand his motivations. He's desperate to save his daughter.
Mm-hmm. And I get it. But at the same time, wow. But then again, we're talking about somebody who was probably one of the creators of the genetically modified supermen. So, I think we have some issues with ethics here. So, right. So this whole time, Girardi is trying to keep control over herself and the Borg Queen, and that's just a losing battle from the beginning.
Yes.
She never actually was in control of herself. The Queen was just letting her pretend that she was in control of herself.
Well, I think the Queen wanted more control than she already had, but yes.
Yeah.
Because she definitely explains it was the endorphins that put her over the top. So I think the Queen needed her to do something that would do that.
Put her in a position to completely take over, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So right. So while that's going on, Picard has a conversation with our generous Europa mission benefactor, Adam Soong, who then promptly tells the security guards that Picard's a problem. I thought that was beautiful. That, again, is subtle Star Trek commentary on society, that somebody who has enough money to do that he bought his way onto the board, and now he's getting people kicked out of the party because he bought his way onto the board. And that's it.
Yeah. And I don't think they knew how topical that was gonna be.
Oh, gods, no. Talk about, I mean, look, how does it happen that we're just recording on the day that Duet disappears and Elon Musk tries to buy Twitter? Oh my God. Yeah. That's a whole other thing. So there was that, and so then they need a distraction. Mm-hmm. Which brings us to Girardi's wonderful rendition of Pat Benatar's Shadows of the Night.
I am very impressed because I had no idea Alison Pill could sing. And that was pretty good. So
that was pretty cool. I had to look up, I remembered it was Pat Benatar, but I wanted to look up when it was released, and it was in 82, which was a very good year, the year I was born. And so in the process of looking this up, I stumbled across the video because, of course, the first thing that comes up is the Wikipedia page, and then the next thing that comes up is the official YouTube channel with the video. And I probably saw this video at some point, but I didn't remember. The video is Pat Benatar as a Rosie the Riveter daydreaming about flying and killing Nazis.
Nice. And
it was just, I don't know if they meant for there to be the connection, but because they were talking about how the Picards had to flee during World War II and all of that, I'd like to think that somebody made that connection to pick that particular song as opposed to any other of a million songs that there are that they could have picked. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I had no idea, and that is fantastic. It just continues the whole theme of this entire season has been fight fascism, and I'm here for it.
Oh yeah, 100%. So we have our distraction, and then we get Picard, and what may be the most important inspirational Picard speech in history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Star Trek Enterprise reference. That ship above her that she looks up and talks about is in the opening credits to Star Trek Enterprise.
Oh, okay. Cool. I didn't catch that.
Yes.
Awesome.
It's one they made up for the Enterprise credits, and then they decided to include it here as a real thing. And I thought that was really cool.
Continuity. It's a beautiful thing. Yep. Yeah, I thought that was really good. And his comment about how his mother struggled is an interesting one. I am dying to learn more about what went on with his family. It's going to be terrible. I know it's going to be terrible. But one of the flashbacks, he was at the end when he's stuck in his brain, there was something in there that did not look quite human for just a blink.
Right, but that's going to be his subconscious turning something into that, I think.
Yeah, you might be right there. Yeah, and maybe
I have not yet seen what is now this week's episode.
Right, nor have I. We specifically waited.
I am assuming that we will get some answers about Picard's past in this episode.
Because Talon's going to get in his head.
Going to be very drastic measures-esque.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Wait, Drastic Measures? Is that the name of the episode? The episode where they go into Sloane's brain in DS9 was Drastic Measures or something like that. What was it called?
I think that... I know you were talking about the Sloane episode. I don't know if you have the title correct.
I think I have the title wrong, and I'm now looking it up.
Okay.
Extreme Measures. That's
Extreme Measures. All right.
It's very Extreme Measures-esque because...
Yes.
Yeah. I expect we'll probably get some weird stuff because the next episode's going to be in Picard's self-conscious. Or subconscious, not self-conscious.
Both. Let's talk about Picard's brain for a minute here.
Sure.
Okay, so I missed something in season 1 when he got put in the golem, or they are establishing things that hadn't been established. Because I thought that he was in a Soong-type android body. I mean, obviously not the data level, more advanced than that, with, like, a layer of looking human.
No. Okay. That was one of the big plot points in season 1 was that they had created, like, actual, like, flesh and blood androids.
Okay, no, that part, yeah. Yeah, but I guess I didn't explain what I'm saying correctly. I didn't think... They're talking about, like, brainwaves and stuff, and he... So I was like, he has a positronic brain, but he doesn't.
No, he has He has a synthetic human brain.
Okay.
I
needed to rewatch season 1.
Yeah, the way I took it to be was that, like, Soji and Picard are, for all intents and purposes, actual flesh and blood organic beings that were artificially created.
Okay. And I took it to be, more artificial parts, I guess. He's not also, completely, because the way the thing reacts when she shocks him.
Yeah, like, I think, like, there are still differences, because, he, like, blows out her defibrillator. But, I think brainwaves, blood, etc., it's all the way you would have with an actual person.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. So he convinces Renee to go on the mission, which is fantastic. It's in passing that they mentioned that they actually got her into quarantine in the last couple of minutes of the show, so that I missed it the first time. I literally was like, what happened to Renee? And then they comment. And then Adam Soong tries to hit her with a car.
Yep.
I was seeing some people comment on Twitter about, like, how did he know that she was going to walk out there at that point and blah, blah, blah. I read that as just opportunistic.
Yeah,
like,
no, I saw it as a crime of opportunity.
Leaving. Yeah. He thought
he had been foiled and was like, oh no, I can actually do it. And then he didn't.
Yeah. So I don't think that was planned in that way. And then, of course, Picard is Picard, and so he pushes her out of the way and saves her. What bothered me about that is that here we have essentially an old man who's been hit by a car, and a lot of people see it, okay, or at least they see the immediate aftermath, because when they run over there to go see if he's okay, there's people around. How did they avoid having him put in an ambulance?
I was wondering that too.
We're going to chalk that up to storytelling. But
yes.
I mean, that doesn't make any sense, because you've got a crowd like that set up, and then somebody gets hurt and their friends are like, oh, we're just going to drive them to the hospital. It's fine. No, that wouldn't happen. Especially with the kind of security that place had. They probably had medics on site.
I would imagine.
Yeah. But we'll give that storytelling.
Yes. And now, we take him to Rios' lady doctor friend. And
I'm really annoyed at myself I keep forgetting her name. And I'm like,
I also do not remember her name.
I'm going to look it up, because she deserves for her name to be.
Yes, she should be more than just Rios' lady doctor friend.
Yeah.
Yes, Dr. Teresa Ramirez.
They take him to Dr. Ramirez's clinic. And because what else are they going to do at this point? Now, here I was thinking, of course, this whole time, he can't go to a regular hospital because, of course, they'll be like, what is this, a robot? But I had forgotten about all the organic stuff. So there's that. But yeah, she knows something strange is going on. She knew something strange was going on before, but I think she thought it was like normal strange. And now she knows it's abnormal strange. Abby-normal strange. So yeah, I will be interested to see
that. Is that a Young Frankenstein reference?
Oh, it was. Thank you. You got it. Yay. Okay. So then Talon is looking at a holographic projection of his mind. And there's all sorts of interesting synapses going off. And of course, then he's stuck in this mental state where he's I don't know if he's reliving what happened, if he's just like going over it in his head, or what quite is going on. But we know it has something to do with his childhood and the scenes that we've seen. Yeah.
Can I just say that Orla Brady doesn't have the best fake American accent?
Sure.
When she's,
I have no opinion on that.
there's just a few words that like come out sounding pretty Irish when she's trying to sound American.
Oh, okay. I don't have a good ear for that type of thing, so I'm just like, hey, cool. She doesn't.
I mean,
sound
I
Irish.
can hear it. I don't get me to try to like do an accent, but I can hear when somebody else is bad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, there's levels. I do appreciate that they did that, though, that she was not sounding the same.
Yeah.
As Laris and herself. So now she's going to do a how did she put it? It was something akin to a mind meld. Anyway.
Yes.
And so I'm sure that's where we're going to start up as soon as we watch this week's episode.
She can hack into whatever memory or thought.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we leave that there. And then we go back to Adam Soong's house.
Yes.
Where we do get confirmation Corey is, if not a clone, she's a
I think we get confirmation
genetically produced. Yeah.
And she's part of a long series of clones that have all died, and she's apparently the last one.
Yeah. And why is she the last one? Because it sounds like he did not mean for her to be the last one. It sounds like he screwed up something.
Probably, yeah, it's probably related to his being, censured or whatever it was that we saw happening in the previous episode. Like he probably doesn't have access to the facilities and equipment that he would use to create another one.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Okay. First of all, Corey seems to be, well, I don't say this. I feel like she's smarter than she should be for somebody who has been stuck in the house for her entire life.
Well, it might be that genetically engineered brain.
Right, so that's why I was like stopping myself there, but I had to get the thought out anyway. She knows something is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
She figures out that something is wrong, that he's gone off a deep end. And so she goes digging through his records. And we only do get the names of 4 of these. I think there were a lot more.
Oh, yeah.
I would be willing to bet there, because if you look at how they aged him in the pictures and the videos, he starts out looking like Brent Spiner did in the 80s on, like, Cheers. Mm-hmm. Or not Cheers, Night Court.
Night Court, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Corey goes through these records and finds out that she is one of many. I love the thing where she's like, I don't remember this picture being taken. And I don't remember this happening. That was very well done. We get 4 of the names of the girls. The first one is Persephone. Okay, they're all Greek goddesses, which follows along with where the name Corey came from. So the first is Persephone, and Persephone, of course, famously is the wife of Hades. Okay, and she's there only part of the year because her mother Demeter wants her to be with her, and that's why we have seasons. Because when Persephone is in the underworld with Hades, Demeter is sad, and so crops don't grow, and it's cold and snowy and stuff. And then you have Despoina, who is half-sister of Persephone. Persephone is a daughter of Demeter and Zeus. Despoina is a daughter of Demeter and Poseidon. And she is one of the goddesses of the illusion mysteries alongside her mother. Okay. And then we have Persephata, who I had to look this up because that was a name I had never heard. That is just another version of Persephone. And then in looking that up, I found out that Persephone is, in some places in the illusion mysteries, referred to as Kore. So there's a connection. So, yes, so then the last of them was Artemis, and she is a goddess of the hunt, She is a goddess of chastity and childbirth, which sounds like it shouldn't go together, but it does, as long as the person doing the birthing of children is being chaste, except for with their partner. And she's the Roman equivalent of Diana. So yeah. So there's connections all over that in terms of, because I think she's a daughter of Zeus. Okay, so you've got Persephone, who is a daughter of Zeus. So Artemis is the half-sister of Persephone, and Persephata, who is also Persephone. And Despoina is the half-sister of them, of Persephone. So I wish I could have gotten all of the names. I had to actually go and look, because I couldn't hear them all. I had to go and look it up in Memory Alpha. Thank you, Memory Alpha. So we have a bunch of Greek goddesses, and Adam Soong is gone off the deep end.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I still think that all of the Soongs are clones after him.
Yeah, I think that is the best explanation for the identical-looking Soongs.
Yeah. So what I'm hoping we find out is why he is on this path in the first place. Okay. I understand, like, the idea of at some point he decided, I'm going to, make genetic supermen from soldiers. Fine. What put him on that path? What made him think about those things? And then what made him apply that to his own family connections? I think that's going to be a really interesting story if they get into that information on him.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah.
I suspect we probably won't see next week.
No.
My guess is, based on what we saw of the shot, because Trek Core shared the stills of the episode. Mm-hmm. My guess is it's entirely going to be about Picard and his mind and whatnot in what is the next episode.
Yeah.
Which I think monsters. I probably won't watch until tomorrow at this point.
Anything else we want to talk about? I didn't hear I didn't get many canon connections. I know there was some stuff in the birthdays.
A very brief reference to Dr. Jemison, which
I missed that completely.
Is astronaut Mae Jemison, who our listeners may know appeared in a guest star, a very brief cameo role as a transporter operator on an episode of TNG.
Oh, I love it. She's canon now and in Starfleet. I love it.
Yes.
Fantastic.
That and there was Nomad was behind Picard when he was giving Picard the pep talk.
Wow, I missed that too.
Yeah, there was a Nomad exhibit and the Nomad probe of TOS
Well,
fame.
that's consistent because we saw the Roykirk building, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so that,
and then obviously the Enterprise, the OV-1 orbiter that we saw was from the Enterprise. Those are the ones that I noticed. I'm sure there were other things that I didn't notice, and they will, I'm sure, be all over Twitter.
Well, you're ahead of me on noticing things, so that's all right. Yeah. Final thoughts? Bring me more.
Yeah.
We've had the same final thoughts every week. It's just been like, I want the rest of the story.
Yes.
Yeah.
We only have we only have 4 more episodes. So.
Yeah.
Are we going to be in the past for the whole rest of the season until the very end?
I don't know. I feel like you're going to need at least one episode to pick up the pieces, but I guess that's assuming that the story is concluded.
Yeah, since they filmed them together, we may not get a full season conclusion. We may sort of get a cliffhanger.
Yeah. Although how they're going to hook up with the rest of the TNG crew, I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe this episode ends with the Enterprise E swooping in, sort of like the end of the first season of Discovery.
Yeah. Will Riker to the rescue, yet again. Yeah. I don't know. That'll be interesting to... We shall see. We shall see. And then we'll have to decide, do we want to talk about the finale or the first episode of Strange New Worlds first? And
I think we should talk about Picard first, I think.
Yeah. Listeners, if you think this episode was long...
It's the same thought process that I'm going to have on which one I'll watch first. I'll watch Picard first.
Yeah, I definitely need the rest of the story for the one that I'm working. Finish the book you're reading now.
I will probably be staying up until 4 a.m. to watch them both as they drop, and then possibly not working the next day.
I know nothing.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Agreed, yes. All right. Well, Dad, where can people find you when you're not giving a pep talk to an astronaut?
You can find me on Twitter at Tyrannicus. That's Tyranicus. And you can also find me on the other podcast I do with my friend Carl called License to Spiel. That's license with a C, like the British way, where we talk about the James Bond films. Chrissy, where can people find you when you're not running over astronauts?
Or attempting to, but actually running over Starfleet officers, yeah.
Right.
Yes, so I try to avoid doing that as often as possible, but sometimes, just, yeah, okay. I don't even know what to do with that one. It's good. In addition, here on Infinite Diversity, you can find me on History with the Szilagys here on the UFP Network, and that's a twice-weekly historical podcast that I do with my fellow historian partner, Jason. Last week, did a special one for First Contact Day, and then talked about early Star Trek conventions. So, listeners, even if you don't usually listen to History with the Szilagys, I think you will enjoy last week's. And
you should also usually listen to History with the Szilagys.
Yes, you should.
Good.
Thank you. It's never more than 10 minutes. So, we try to make it easy to fit into your podcast queue. And I'm happy to chat about our shows in the Federation Council Chambers on Facebook. And I'm on Twitter at The Goddess Livia. That's TheGoddessLivia. And there's where I tweet about Star Trek history and leftist politics.
The United Federation of Podcasts Network is home to many different podcasts. Join Amy Nelson and Mark White as they discuss all good things, covering all the old Star Trek. Join hosts Rio Papagiorgio, Kevin Scharf, and Amy Nelson and Joe Keegan as they discuss TNG onboard Galaxy Class. Who wouldn't want to be a kid again? Join Chris Trabuzio, Pat Devlin, and Casey Pettitt as they talk all things under the Disney umbrella with Mickey's Marvels. Take a stroll through Star City and discover all things that make Arrow Arrow with Lance Laster and Kevante Chillis on Always Hold On to Arrow. And finally, dive into some cryptozoology with Ken Tripp and Zach Moore as they take a lighthearted and fun look at the cultural phenomena of Bigfoot on Sasquatch.
Thank you very much for tuning in to Infinite Diversity. Thank you to our executive producers, Ken Tripp, Tony Robinson, Brandon Shea-Mutella, and Zach Moore. Thank you to Zach Tripp for the wonderful theme music and Tony Robinson for the great show art. Please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts, and please subscribe. If you'd like to reach out, you can find the network on Twitter at UFP Earth or our show specifically at IDIC Podcast. You can also talk about any and all of the UFP podcasts in our Facebook group called the Federation Council Chambers. And on the next episode, we will be talking about the next episode of Picard, which has the title Monsters. Until then, we wish you peace and long life.
This has been a production of MTMR Media Works.
So, yeah, I will be interested
Is that
to see
a Young Frankenstein reference?
Oh, it was. Thank you. You got it. Yay. Yay. Okay. Listeners, if you have not seen Mel Brooks' Young Frankenstein, you are missing something fantastic.
It is Mel Brooks' best film, in my opinion.
Oh, top 3.
Okay.
Top 2.
All right, what are the other 2?
History of the World.
Okay.
And Spaceballs.
I've actually never seen History of the World.
Oh my God. I have History of the World memorized because I show it to my classes every semester.
The other 2 I would pick would be Blazing Saddles and Spaceballs.
I forgot about Blazing Saddles.
I also really love Robin Hood Men in Tights. I mean, I haven't seen a bad Mel Brooks movie, to be fair.
Patrick Stewart, Robin Hood Men in Tights. Bringing it back. Yep.
From henceforth, this day forth, all our toilets will be known as John.
John's. Yes. If only the actual... Oh, never mind. Okay. I was going to say, but the actual Richard had done that, but he died. Yeah. Well, we're going to have to fix that next time at the convention, then. We're going to have a History of the World watching.
Okay.
Yes. It's... There are parts of it that are very dated. I have to, before I show it to my classes, I have to be like, okay, there's some language in this that was okay in 1980. It is not used anymore.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, that's a given. We went off track again. Yeah, so she knows that there's strange stuff going. No, that's my fault. I made the Young Frankenstein joke. Yeah.